tea. So, first of all, let us talk about Elon Musk and Nicki Minaj. So, what happened is that X is rolling out another feature on their already existing, Grok Imagine, and Elon decided to let the world know about this new feature that they have introduced, and this is what he had to say. He said, "Try Grok Imagine Chibi template, super cute." To which Nicki Minaj responded and said, "Oh, this update is coming to Gag City. It is so cute. Babs, post your own." And then she said hashtag Chibi and then template on Grok Imagine and tag me. I'll pick my favorites. And of course, Elon Musk responded to that and said, "Cute." Now, people are now questioning, is this just her, liking this new development, or does it mean that behind the scenes she might have scored a deal with Elon for promo? Because obviously the hashtag and the tag me, and I don't think that she would just give out her promo services for free like this. I'm also inclined to believe that, well, she might be scoring actually more, paying more rewarding deals behind the scenes. Because if anything, these tech companies really truly do pay. And for someone as influential with a lot of followers, as Nicki Minaj, I'm pretty sure if she is to get a promo deal from X or Grok or Elon, in general, I do feel like it will be a very much rewarding deal. Speaking of which, this actually reminded me of that day when Nicki Minaj was talking about neurodivergence, and she kept on referring to Elon Musk, and she said, with Elon being our leader, blah blah blah. And one thing about Nicki Minaj is she doesn't always come out here and tell the people who she's actually linking up with behind the scenes, but oftentimes when you hear her talking about people, dearly or like she knows them closely like this, oftentimes she has met them in person, but she just didn't announce it. And so I'm now beginning to believe that, yeah, behind the scenes, she probably is working. And I know that a lot of people are going to come for her and they will start saying, "Oh my gosh, she's trying to attach herself to Elon Musk." Like just that day when she was saying Elon is our leader, blah, blah, blah. And you know how funny it is probably for these people to know that behind the scenes we're actually working together. But you guys are trying to make it seem like she's trying to latch on to people that don't rate her. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they probably actually, talk. And it would be hilarious actually if this is happening because I mean, brother billionaire surely wouldn't like Nicki Minaj rubbing shoulders with actual billionaires like the likes of Elon. Now, am I Elon's fan, number one fan? Absolutely not. Not. But do I think that he's been really strategic with building his businesses and stuff like that? Absolutely. Do I think that there's such a thing as an ethical billionaire? Absolutely not. But that being said, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about all of this. Now, do you think that this is something that the title swindler would appreciate to see from Nicki Minaj? Because I personally do feel like like if it were dependent on him, he would want to associate with those people. But because he still has to play performative with black people, he has to act like he doesn't want to get involved. I mean, we also the dinner with the Trumps. I'm pretty sure that if any actual billionaires that do support Republicans come out here and offer him some funding for some projects, before you know it, he will be out there turning around and taking the offer and preaching to you how you guys should be past kneeling down just the way he did with NFL. I mean, I'm just saying. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about the Met Gala. They have released their guest list, and we're going to talk about who made it, who didn't make it, and why we think they didn't make it. Do we think they were not invited, or do we think that they actually declined the invite? So, yeah, this is not the comprehensive list, of course. I'm just talking about the people that we care about, aka black people. So, yeah, Angela Bassett, we have Lewis Hamilton, we have Caesar, we have Doja Cat. I also saw Serena Williams, Venus, Beyonce, Pharrell, Brother Billionaire, Sierra, Naomi. Olandia made it. Alicia Keys, Lizzo, Coco Jones. Did I mention Miza? Yeah, Miza is also there. And of course, Advovo BBO is not okay. She made it clear recently, so I guess we're not going to be talking about that right here. Tiana Taylor made it as well to the list, Zendaya, and all of these other people. Now, what I saw interesting is that there is a name that's not mentioned. Actually, a couple of names, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, they both were not on this list. But it's funny to me how a fake page has, out of everyone who didn't make it to this list, it is Nicki Minaj they're concerned about. And so this this fake page, is propelling the narrative that Nicki Minaj did not get invited because of her affiliation with the Republican Party. Now, not only is this misinformation, but I do believe that this is intentional daftness, which is something I really truly do not appreciate because we all know who's sponsoring this year's Met Gala. We do know the people behind the finances of the Met Gala this year, and they are Republicans, and they carry that on their chest. The billionaires that are behind this event are Republicans. So to think that Nikki would get disinvited because of her affiliation with the Republican Party is nothing short of ridiculous. Let's start with that. Number two, let's talk about the performative activism that we see. If your favorites are anti everything that is Republicans, why are they not boycotting the Met Gala? Why? Why are they not? Exactly. And this is the performative stuff that I do not like. And this is why you see me saying that whatever somebody decides to do with their freedom of choice when it comes to political parties, let them be. Because this is the stuff that doesn't make any sense to me. I promise you, given an opportunity, your favorite artists would be out there wishing to dine and to sit at the same table with Jeff and Lauren. But God forbid a black woman associates herself with any of those people. God forbid a black woman exercises her right to choose a political party that she wants. It just doesn't make any sense for me. And I really truly don't understand how some people don't see or do not pick up the hypocrisy in all of this. And again, they are more mad at Nicki Minaj than they are at Trump. And you'll often see that the same people that had a lot of things to say to Nicki Minaj before she even came out publicly and said that she's a Republican are the same people that are now hiding behind her political choices to say that they don't like her. It's just like whatever she does, they look for a reason to justify the hate they've always had for this woman. Some will come out and say that, oh, we don't like her because of Kenneth Petty. But then when you really look into it, you realize that way before then, they just didn't like her. The likes of Peter Rosenberg, who at some point felt like he had successfully annihilated Nicki Minaj's career. I was surprised to see him in 2026 talking about, oh, Nicki's destroying her legacy. Her legacy, she's destroying it because of her affiliation with the Republicans. Gone just like that. And I'm like, how many times is her career and her legacy going to be destroyed, Peter? Especially coming from someone who was out there playing radio sounds and celebrating that he had ended her career. So which legacy are you still talking about in 2026, Peter? And it's the fake consent for me. How many lives does Nicki Minaj's career have at this point? It's giving cat. Her career is really giving cat. So many lives. Now, let me know in the comment section what you think about the hypocrisy of the Met Gala and why you think people are so obsessed with the fact that Nicki got cancelled. And the funny thing is, she's not the only celebrity who's probably not going to be attending. Rihanna is also not going to be attending. We didn't hear any conspiracy theories about why and how. And also, when it comes to Rihanna, I mean, we do all know what recently happened. I'm not sure she would want to be in a space like that anyway, given what, transpired. And as a mother, you're just like, I do feel like at this point this is a place where she probably is like, I don't want to be apart from my children, which is fairly reasonable in my own opinion. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, let us talk about Lottery Ticket and her announcement. So, it is confirmed, it has been confirmed now that Lottery Ticket is actually, in fact, pregnant. And in the teaser video that she posted, people kind of put two and two together and realized that the tattoos of the man in the video are those that belong to 21 Savage. So yeah, it seems like the two of them are expecting a baby. And in my previous video, when I was talking about the situation, I say to you guys, I don't think that she would be that daft, given the history of the man marrying. And people try and say it's for the green card. Oh my god! And I'm like, since when do people procreate in a marriage of arrangement just for the papers? Like, why would such an arrangement bring about kids? I just don't understand that logic. But that being said, yeah, Lottery Ticket has decided to do this. And if you do pay attention, it seems to be a trend with the female rappers. Yeah, it's something that they are embracing. It seems to almost be a taboo for a woman to procreate with a man who's also expecting their first child. It's always this and that. It's always, and I do hope for Lottery Ticket's sake, this is not going to be the same story of Danny Lee and a baby. If you guys were here during that time, you know how messy it became. And one thing about these men is I don't know how they do it, but it almost seems like everybody who falls victim to these type of men during the time they are getting the men good, they feel like they're an exception. Like you ask them, they'll be like, no, not me. I'm like this. He's with me because the other woman was like this. The other woman could not give him this. The other woman was this. I'm pretty sure right now looking at the ex-wife of 21 and, Lottery Ticket and just seeing how Lottery Ticket obviously makes more money. She feels like, oh, we are a power couple, so I'm superior to this. Or, I mean, if she decides to go the colorist route, you remember what Danny Lee was doing when it comes to Meme. Yellow bunny is what he wants. You remember that? Yellow bunny. And these men will gas up these women. And it's actually very sad, because for someone who brags about being quote unquote pure and not being a pass around, to give all that dignity of not being a pass around to a man who is technically married, allegedly, I don't know. Big Mama. I really don't know. But that being said, congratulations to her. After all has been said and done, a child is still a blessing. I do hope that in the grand scheme of things, we will not be gathering here again to discuss drama when it comes to that relationship, because one thing about men is they will leave you in the desert without water, like what the great Kanyen Bao said. I live with those words. Okay, whenever I see a creature with a third leg, I mean a human species obviously with a third leg, I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, I'm just I'm sorry for all the guys who follow me, but your kind, the PR that your kind has been doing is not, you guys don't have good PR at all. So, pardon me for all of you guys, but men are not to be trusted. And I don't know, especially one that is capable of marrying for an alleged green card. That's just too much for me. But then again, I said too much for me, right? Which means that for lottery ticket is not too much. She loves it, okay? And if she does like it, you know what we say? We absolutely love it. That being said, the baby mama, I don't know if I should call her the baby mama or the wife, because maybe they're divorced, eh? Maybe it's the ex-wife. Maybe, actually liked lottery tickets picture. So people thought like, her liking that picture means that she's co-signing the pregnancy. Look at me. I sound stupid. I just said co-signing a pregnancy. Oh my god, the bar is in hell. Right with the devil and his fork of Hades. That's where the bar is right now, because how can I just say something like co signing a pregnancy? What the F is that? But anyway, that's besides the point. The wife left a like on lottery tickets announcement video. Now, this could mean two things. First of all, it could mean that, they are just now married on paper and they're probably separated and they're just waiting for the required number of years until he gets his, papers in order. And in that case, that would be a cosign that is coming from the heart. Like, I see you, sister wife. Do your thing. I love your hair. I love your belly. Do your thing. Take our man. It's all technical. It's all for the technicalities this side, but the heart and the ding dong is with you. It could be that. Or it could be in I knew this. I see you, not in a good way, by the way. It could be I'm taking this to my lawyer. It could either mean two things. But let me know in the comment section what you think about this mess. Do you think we are witnessing yet another the baby triangle, or is just this different? And that also makes me understand lottery tickets a lot more. You know how she's always bragging about, oh my god, I've got only two people that I slept with. It very much gives, pick me. And I did see people discussing about this before when she released one of her songs, and she was bragging about this. I think there was also an interview where she was talking about this as well, like, oh my god, I've only been with one or two men, something like that. And that dynamic usually comes from triangulation. I feel like oftentimes we do not realize that some people may not be naturally, pick me's, but the situations that surround them turn them into pick me's. Things like polygamy, things like just triangulation, a cheating husband. Before you realize it, you have been put in a situation where you're competing for this man's attention, and now you're trying to prove your worth over the other woman. And before you know it, you're telling the whole internet your body count. And whenever you're in an interview or you're singing, you are bound to bring up the fact that you've only been with two men. Meanwhile, this is probably not even how you were raised. This probably just came from the fact that you have been made to believe that you have to perform for this man's validation. And it's rather sad if you ask me. And these men may even go out of their way to tell you that, oh, I love you because your body count is low. The other one, she is an HO. But you are special. I see purity when I look at you, Clayco. And before you know it, you feel like you need to announce to the entire world that your man says that I'm valuable, because the thing is like, I make my own money. I'm big mama. I don't sleep with men. Those are the songs, right? And when you actually look at it, you realize that probably the man is saying the other baby mama doesn't have a ish together financially and is not making much money as you are, so you're better in that case. And then number two, she's been sleeping around, but not you, my Clayco. Yellow bunny's what he wants. And she was yellow boning, and that man was being a monster. And we had to come on here and still say that, okay, she's a pick me, but right now she's going through it. The baby is disgusting for doing that. But when she was doing that to Meme and she felt like she was way above the program, it was all fun and games, right? When she was being calories, she was like, ugh. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Tasha K. At this point, this girl is absolutely ungovernable, very petty, and I love it. So, Tasha K decided to break her own news, to drop her own tea, drop her own exclusive on her own business. And I was like, okay, this is very much giving boss moves. if we can put it that way. So she wrote and said Tasha K's Georgia estate is officially on the market. Tasha says she has lived on in the home over the years, but she has also had renters in the property. She has since relocated between South Florida and West Africa and is now looking to sell due to maintenance. The home was fully renovated last September and sits on both a golf course and a lake. Serious buyers and brokers only. DM for details. And the fact that it's being reported in third person is absolutely hilarious. Of course, she does have people, that post on her behalf, but the fact that the page reads Tasha K and, the post is saying Tasha K is in third person, that was a gag. I won't lie. Now, of course, given her, financial controversies with Advolvo BBL and her settlement, some people were now speculating that, oh, she's selling because she's broke, she cannot afford lawyer fees, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of narratives actually surrounding this because I think a couple of weeks ago, there were some developments in their case with Advolvo BBL's lawyers asking for some, information from Tasha K regarding the entire situation. So let me know in the comment section, do you think this is just a sale, a random sale, or do you think that it is a strategy, or is she tied into a corner where she now has to pay her legal fees? What do you think is happening with that? Anyway, moving on to the last thing that we're going to be talking about. Talk about Hollywood, okay? Now, there have always been rumors surrounding Justin, Asha, and the Diddler, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I will not go in detail, but you know that there've always been whispers about who brought who to who exposed who to who was underage, and all of these things. These rumors have been circulating, but now it is coming, information is coming, courtesy of TMZ, of course, and they are alleging that Asha and Justin were involved in a very tense confrontation at the Grammy after party hosted by none other than brother billionaire and wife. And allegedly, Asha approached Justin with a visible anger. Oh my god, I said anger. Man, this is not my native language, you guys. I mean anger. You get what I'm saying, which led to a heated exchange between the two. During the argument, Asha allegedly directed a R-word slur towards Hailey Bieber, and Justin reacted by pushing Asha before security stepped in to break things up and calm the situation. Now, I have been seeing whispers and conspiracy theories surrounding Justin and Hailey, but one that stood out for me is the one that was being explained by Candace Owens. I did see some people saying that she's not the one who originated that theory. I'm just calling it a theory because at this point we haven't seen the evidence, obviously. But people are saying that, well, it was explained somewhere else and she was just amplifying what was said there. But this conspiracy theory was saying that the reason why Hailey over the year has gotten so much negative publicity is they do understand, by they, I mean Hollywood and all the weirdos that worship Hollywood, of course. And so, yeah, the allegations are that the reason why Hailey has been facing a lot of criticism and negative publicity is because they do not like the fact that Justin has got somewhere to go, like not as a physical home, but like an emotional home to go to. And a family that embraces him. I mean, Hailey and of course her family, and that she has some form of fortress, some form of refuge, in them. And they don't like this because one thing about them people is they want to make as much money as they can from someone, and they want to steal a lot of that money as well. It's not just about making money, you making money, it's about you making money and them being able to steal it. And this is why they encourage the celebrity relationships and marriages where everybody is intertwined with Hollywood. And the fact that Hailey has got also a support system behind her, they couldn't just manipulate her. They probably cannot just manipulate her the way they would have been able to do if he was with somebody like Selena Gomez. So allegedly, that's the reason why Hollywood has kind of been after Hailey and her image. And I would like to believe that because I do believe that outside the artist, they also do use who the artist is surrounded by in order to control them, spouses and relatives, parents, if they're dance, things like that. Just to have access to you, just to make sure that you are in a bubble where you cannot run away, you cannot run to anyone. And this is the reason why they get mad when, top celebrities and, cash cows decide to marry out of the Hollywood cult. I would have given an example, but then I've realized that if I give that example, you guys will start to call me obsessed. Because to some of you, just because I'm here on YouTube making a video a day or two a day means I don't have a career, means I don't have a life. That's what some of you believe. I don't know, man. But anyway, you know who I'm talking to, who I would have referred perfectly in the situation, and why that person's husband continues to be villainized and to be